support logic, what we do is we sit on top of your system of record, specifically your system of record for your support tickets, right? And what we do is we read all the inbound and outbound comments, all the internal notes, all of that, and we're analyzing it with natural language processing, with a variety of different machine learning models. And we do this to extract the voice of the customer and surface that to you in kind of near real time. And so, like, our UI will also then ingests and allows the visibility of your cases, allows you to see your cases within our UI. And what you can actually see here is an individual case, right? This is a case. It's got its case ID number. It's associated with a customer, has a case owner, a reporter, right? And then you'll see a number of different signals detected as at the top, right? So these are actual things that the customer is saying within the case that we are then categorizing as specific signal types. So for example, you see this signal of urgency, right? And this was detected on a span of text where the customer was saying, we're waiting for this fix to be integrated as soon as possible, right? You'll also see an escalation request. It's a different category of signal. Even though you could argue it requires urgency as well, but it's the customer explicitly saying, please escalate my issue, right? It's not getting resolved in a timely fashion. It's very serious. Please escalate my issue. Or, additionally, there's signals that more fall under the kind of emotional, in the kind of the emotional state of an individual of what they're saying, something like frustration, right? So we're detecting a variety of different signals covering the whole realm of, how customers are feeling when they're talking to you, as well as, more procedural language that they might use when they ask for an escalation or they say that their system is down or something like that. So nuts and bolts of what we do. Analyze all your cases, read them all, and tell you how your customers are feeling so that you can take action in real time. So, as a support leader, as a support manager, right, as an escalation manager or a TAM, you might look at this case, you might see this expression of urgency by the customer, this escalation request from the customer, right? If you're a support manager, you might see this escalation request. It draws you to this case because you were either alerted by it or you were operating within our console, and this was, this case was sorted to the top for you as something that you needed to take a look at. And then you decide what needs to be done here, right? You may decide, okay, this case actually does need to be escalated. I need to get an SME involved, right? Maybe I need to reassign it to someone else because the current case owner can't handle it. You can do all of those things right from within the platform here, right? So as an option, like if I wanted to share this to an SME of some kind, I have an option to share the case up here, and I can then share this case via Slack, MS Teams, email, add a little note to it, and then a notification will go to that individual in one of those channels. It can contain a little bit of summary text that I add here, but it will also contain details about the case, right? And so my message can be like as simple as, hey, Bob, Sally, John, right? Can you help me? Can you take a look at this case and help, and help the case owner, Sarah, like in it with it because, she needs a little help on it, right? There's a number of different things that you can do there. That's just one potential workflow. The system is intended to be a system of action, not just visibility, right? Yep. So when a signal gets highlighted or surfaced to you as a support leader, as a support manager, right? As whatever your persona or role is, you can then build a standard operating procedure around what do I do in that situation, right? Normally I'm reading through if I'm a support manager, I might be reading through, 120 cases that are owned by my team. I can't read through all of those, trying to find the ones that are troubled. But in this scenario, support logic is actually pointing out the cases that have urgency, that have escalation requests, that have frustration on them, so that I can actually take the appropriate action, right? And so it goes even beyond what I'm showing you with just sharing a case. Maybe at a glance, I realize that this is the wrong this case should be with someone else. It shouldn't be owned by this individual, right? I need to move it to someone else. At that point, I have the option to modify the case owner, change the case owner. And this is one of the great things about support logic is that when I want to reassign a case, it will make recommendations for me for the next agent that makes the most sense from a skill perspective, from a scheduling perspective, right? From a backlog perspective, and it's going to stack rank them for me based on all of these things. It's another ML model that we have that does this, right? So I know who's the best fit to handle this case, right? But it's not only going to give me that person, it'll give me a list of all the folks who kind of fit the criteria, even though it'll stack rank them based on based on who the ML determines is the best fit to handle the case. So that's another very kind of clear workflow that I can follow right here within support logic. And that's a workflow for manual assignment of a case or reassignment of a case. But you can also use that same ML can play into using our platform for automated assignment of cases as they come in, ensuring that they get to the right person right out the gate, right? And I don't need to reassign it later. But if I do, this is an option.